When there's a homeowner and they have to sell their home in divorce, a lot of times we get questions about the personal property that's left in the home. So today we're going to discuss that. My name is Barbara and I'm a certified divorce real estate expert. And Josh is here with me today. And Josh has some questions about his personal property.
So, hey, Barbara, just wondering, you mentioned and were asking me if there's personal property left in the home. Why is that important? I figured you would just take it out with movers or something at the end.
It is important, Josh, and let me kind of explain why. So the first thing is sometimes there's a question about what is personal property versus what is considered a fixed. And that can be kind of confusing to people because sometimes they think they can take certain things. So let's start with a fixed. A fixed is really anything that's screwed into the wall. So think of it as the bracket for a television would be considered a fixed, but the TV is not. Curtain rods are considered a fixed, so the curtain rods have to stay. The window treatments, they're a fixed, they're screwed in, so they have to stay. Flush mounted speakers are screwed in, so they need to stay. So anything that's, if you think of it, if anything that's screwed in needs to stay.
So let's say I have like a mirror that's screwed into the wall or something. Is that fixed property?
So is the mirror screwed in, or is the mirror simply hung on a hook?
Well, I have one that is on a hook and another that is screwed on the corners and stuff into it to be more, just attached to the wall.
So if it's screwed in, it's considered a fixed.
Okay.
If it's like hanging like a photograph, then that is something that's considered personal property.
Okay.
Now, when you're selling your home, prior to closing, all the personal property needs to be removed from a sale. And unfortunately, sometimes in divorce transactions, we get into a situation where one of the parties is taking out all the personal property that they want, and then the other person that maybe is the one that's left in the home is left to deal with everything else. But all the personal property needs to be removed from the home, and the home needs to be in what's called room clean condition. So you're not required to have it professionally cleaned, but you do need to vacuum and you need to dust and you need to remove all the trash that maybe you don't want, and as well as all your personal property, Josh.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking. So again, some things that are sort of confusing as to whether it's personal property or not is the refrigerator. Now, if it's a built-in refrigerator, that stays, it's considered a fixed. But if it's not built in, you can just roll it out, that would be considered personal property. The same thing with the washer and dryer, they're considered personal property. So those three items, though, you can decide if you want to leave those with the property so that they convey with the property. Some people just don't want to have to move them. Other people, maybe they're brand new appliances and they want to take them with them. So that's totally up to you whether you decide you want to leave those three things or not.
So for kind of a specific case, let's say I have a desk, but I have one of those anti-tip brackets attached to it that's screwed into the wall. Is that fixed or is that still personal?
So that would be considered a fix because it is screwed in. So
Okay.
Like a microwave, people don't realize it, but only the bracket around it is actually screwed in, but the microwave is still considered a fix.
Can you unscrew, such as those anti-tip brackets from desks and stuff, prior to putting it for sale? That way it's personal versus fixed?
Yes, as long as you take the things before it's listed. Now, once it's listed and we have photos online, then buyers are going to expect that those things are going to stay in the home. I've had situations where someone had a very special light fixture at their entryway that they wanted to take. So what I told them is go ahead and take it down before we do the photos, before we list it, replace it with something else, and then you can take it with you. But once it's in the home, buyers have seen it, then they're expecting that it will stay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense?
It does.
So other things that are, considered, obviously personal property would be cars and boats and, sporting goods things. things that would need to stay in the home, our pool equipment, and things like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Then if you guys have any questions on specifics, please reach out.
Yep.
I'm more than happy to help.
More than happy to help you understand what's affixed and what needs to stay. Now, the biggest issue that I find, unfortunately, Josh, in some divorce cases is the spouses are fighting over the personal property. And unfortunately, in my role as a certified divorce real estate expert, I can't get involved in solving disputes between personal property. That is something that you're going to need to deal with your spouse, and or your attorneys are going to have to figure that piece of it. I can only tell you that all the personal property does need to be removed from the home prior to us being able to close. So those are the big things with personal property. Like I said, obviously, if you have specific questions about you and your case, feel free to reach out to us. My contact information is down below, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions.